This video is sponsored by Narc.90. They are beyond technical. Right now there's an offer on if you go to narc.90.com and use the Big Scuba code BIGSCUBA2024.
The reason there's a shower room and toilet here, is this bulkhead is not a pressure seal, but it's an ECU seal, Environmental Control Unit. Problem with habitats over history, I've worked in Aquarius in Florida, which is the only existing working habitat at the moment, is they're 100% humidity and very damp, and infection is a big issue. What we're going to do with Sentinel is that this bulkhead will be a environmental seal, not a pressure seal. So it'll be the same pressure either side, but during dive ops, the moon pool will be open. This whole area will be 100% humidity, heavily affected by the temperature of the sea, so pretty unpleasant. Dive ops finish, take a shower to clean yourself off, get the salt off, transfer through into this end, doors shut, and then the ECUs kick in with the closed moon pool and dry this end out. So 6-hour dive cycle, about 3 hours later this end will be dry, then you can come and go doing science, cleaning gear, prepping the gear for the next day.
What humidity are you planning on?
Not defined as yet, but much more comfortable than 100% as you get in Aquarius. Big problem with air is between the toes, between the fingers, crutch, foot, ear infections. Big problem, really common with SAT. So probably not surface atmospheric, but certainly much more manageable from that point of view.
I can get it down to 70% or something to do well.
Plant room. So basically the boxes is to simulate various bits and pieces that might be needed in here. Viewports everywhere. That is just a stairwell for safety. That would be a viewport. None of these stairs in and out. It will exist, of course, on a real thing, like so. And then in the plant room, there is a roof hatch. I'll explain what that's for in a minute. I just wanted you to see where it is. Okay? But it's kind of connected to the fact that these rescue traverse lines come right the way through the entire habitat and would actually zigzag round to here. These things are on loan to us from Harken to try them. We're going to basically run with them for the standard. To give you an idea what these are used for, you know the gherkin in London?
Yes.
Yeah. These are on, all the stripes you see between the glass panels are these. Oh. So they can clean it without scaffolding. They come from yachting, but Harken also have a commercial division, and that's what these are. So they've got a massive weight. Yeah.
So I presume that's so you can lock on from outside, is it?
No, you'll see when we go upstairs, because that's not the outside. This thing's huge. We're only downstairs at the moment. Galley here. The cooking method, we've got a Michelin-starred chef in the company, believe it or not, because we own a hotel as well, but he's also dealing with nutritional, calorific food design for a 21-day deployment of civilized human beings, not commercial divers. So the food method that seems to be coming up trumps is sous vide. It's basically the high quality food is pre-bagged and then goes into sous vide, which effectively warms it up, and it's absolutely so it went like it's posh boiled in a bag, but it's like one of the most state-of-the-art chefing methods. Yeah, I mean it's really really up there cooking technology, but basically it means you can go super hygienic, super high quality, very healthy food, but easy prep with what you can have in a SAT system. Okay,
and storage, I suppose.
Exactly.
As well, isn't it? Yeah.
Table and chairs there, etc. Water dispenser, etc., etc. This panel lifts up and there's stairs underneath it. You see there's a hatch in the floor here. This is the grand hall. So think Jules Verne, Captain Nemo in the Nautilus, looking out with his organ, playing music. This is the grand viewing hall. So at the end of your working day, you can just come and sit in here, chill out, write up your paper, etc. And it's just all windows. But both ends are identical. So under that hatch is an absolutely identical moon pool without the diver lift. So if you're ever out diving, come back, that one's blocked for some reason, like the lift collapsed or failed or blah, 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 you can come in this end. If you're here in the evening and there's a fire in the middle, you can go out this end. On seabed, there'll be a small habitat called a refuge, plus 2 additional means of escape, which I'll show you in a moment. But that's why you've got under storage, but direct to a ladder-served alternative moon pool. The moon pool hatch is the same size. The access hatch is smaller because it's just an emergency exit. Meaning fabrication-wise, the ends are the same. If you've noticed, basically as we walk through, these middle sections are segments. So what you've actually got here is 3 big rings and 2 domes. In the future, you could have 4 rings, 5 rings, 6 rings. No dome on that end, one of these vertical stuck on the end. Think like those modular hamster cages.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning. So if you go on the website and look at 3 of them together, 6 of them together, that's
So
what
with
this
3
is
of them
aiming at.
together, what do they expect the weight to be?
Oh, these things, I mean, I don't know exactly, so I'm not going to guess a number, but, you know, hundreds of tons, the whole thing. But, like anything, how heavy is your gear on land? How heavy is it as soon as you get in Vobster? Yeah. It's like on bottom, our biggest problem is sinking the damn thing. Because don't forget, this is full of air.
Yeah, and transportation, obviously, on a ship, have you got...
In pieces. So that's the point. It comes like a Meccano kit,
Right,
3
okay.
rings. The rings come with nothing in them. They've got rails. Everything in here has to be able to get through that moon pool. And when it comes in, it slides onto the rails in the rings. They're called cassettes.
So the actual construction, putting the pods together, is done on the
On the surface, on the pontoon.
Right, okay.
Probably shore-based, and tow it out
Yeah.
and submerge it. Moving on, we've got various storage areas. That will be the med room, so high-tech med equipment, etc. Primary control panel. Come along down and get to the bedrooms. So if you've ever seen pictures of the inside of Aquarius, it's grim. It's a 6-bunk, 3 high, like submarines. You know, you're bunked in. Here, you've got individual bunk rooms. This is a scientist or a crew bunk room. You've got a fold-down table, so you've got personal space. You've got iPad equivalent of TV. Obviously, we're designing all of this because it's got to be SAT capable. It's got to be helium-proof for those type of depths. All feasible technology. Someone's just got to get around to doing it. And there's your window.
Amazing.
You lie in bed and watch the fish.
Room with a view.
Yeah, absolutely. Interestingly, the section we're in now, this polystyrene isn't about budget. This is actually from AutoCAD, a moulding of the design. So a lot of the other things you've seen are replicated with thin sheet wood. This is actually as it would be. So this is the shape, the windows and everything. So
So it has a good degree of insulation, I imagine.
it won't be polystyrene. It's only polystyrene for weight for this mock-up.
No, but presumably you must have insulation.
Oh yeah,
designed
sorry,
into the
sorry,
system.
yeah, on the outside. So
On
yeah,
the outside?
yeah,
Right.
so not on the pressure hole. Bear in mind, this is designed to be capable of holding the pressure both ways. These ones are not more luxurious. They're bigger, but that's because this one and the opposite one are the Habitat Commander and the Habitat 2 IC, and all this extra space is emergency equipment. In each of these, there'll be a full ECU control panel for the entire Habitat surface comms. So basically, the crew, the real astronauts, have got more in here for functionality, not for luxury.
Yeah.
Could you charge out for, like, you know, these people who spend a lot of money on doing these extreme tours?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So could
yeah.
you do
Very much
see
so?
that you could
Yeah.
do the
You
same
think
with
what they're
this?
paying to get like slingshotted for space
Yeah.
for 30 seconds in Branson's thing? Absolutely, it's very
And
much
obviously, you know,
because if you were to do that 4 tours a year in one that was placed for that purpose, that generates the funding to give it to scientific institutions who can't afford it. So you basically work out ways of funding it so you can donate it to the people that are going to do real oceanographic
Real
science
good work, yeah.
because they haven't got the money to do it.
Well, it's
So
finding that balance. isn't it?
exactly.
Finding the
Sean, who you
commercial.
just met, that's his job.
Right.
That is his job, and he's been worldwide to the appropriate people like, you know, the people who go to space or
Yeah.
the bottom of the
Yeah.
ocean, to basically
'Cause there's
you know,
a surprising
put the
big
feeler
number.
out for interest, and there's a lot of interest.
Yeah.
Last room down the end. Main bathroom at this end, so you can see it's considering you're in a habitat, it's pretty luxurious. I think it's bigger than my bathroom actually. And then we come to the end of the dome. What would happen here is, just like the other end, the dome would come down from here, joining that, and in the top of this dome, just like that other end, is another aperture up. About where my hand is, there'll be a mezzanine deck across here. You'll go through this area, up onto that mezzanine deck, up from that straight into the primary means of getting to and from this on a normal day where everything's perfect. So you're not going to be like cramped in a ball and brought down and in like that. You're going to basically you're going to fly to work in comfort, dock onto the roof, get out, walk down the stairs. You're in for your 28 days. It stays there because it's
The people that obviously come down in this submersible, are they brought down to pressure up there?
could be either.
Right.
Technology of this means it could be either way. So you could bring the whole crew down not under pressure and pressurise here,
Yeah.
or you could bring someone down in the middle of a deployment pressurised on surface and they can just come straight into here.
And get to work.
The options of the design mean any version of that could be achieved. Yeah. And that would be very, very useful for effectively, let's look at someone's down here for 21 days has an appendicitis. Yeah, you can get them out to surface, and somewhere like the NHC up in Aberdeen, you could do that in chamber. So you've got the capability of taking someone out under pressure, depressurising it down here, depressurising them on the surface. The means of transporting them will be able to depressurise as well. Lots of different options. So there we go. So that's Sentinel.